All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Gonna be touching on the top prop bets, mostly in the MLB today. Don't have that much action going on today in various other sports. So prize picks and underdog video, let's go ahead and get into it. So looking at the board today for underdog, and prize picks, we are getting one good prop bet. I would say that stands out. That's going to be Sonny Gray for over his pitching fantasy score. Now, that's going to be a slightly better prop bet on underdog. They did just raise this by 1. So on underdog, it's actually at 32.5. So this is going to be the better bet on underdog today. Kind of like on Saturday where it seemed like the bigger edges that we were getting were on underdog, and that ended up being the case, which is why it was a decent day overall on Saturday. That's going to be the case again today, at least with Sonny Gray. But after that, it is kind of a push. Like, I'm still going to be running out Sonny Gray for over his pitching fantasy score on prize picks. That does seem to still be a good edge for us. And if we look at kind of the reasons as to why, does average about 5.9 innings. So he probably does need to get to a quality start 6 there. So projecting at 5.5. Again, that is like the difference of an out or not, whether he gets that final out if he were to get that over fantasy score. But he is the one that I like. And then we have a bunch of other pitching fantasy score prop bets where the under is kind of being favored. Now, I don't like for Lopez here, the projection data likes the over by a massive amount. That is typically not something I like to see. And so there's a little bit of a concern there for me, but at the same time, kind of it is what it is, I guess, at that point, but obviously not something that I want to see. Same thing with Bradley here, where the data is telling us to bet the under. Okay, don't get me wrong there, but that's because at 31.5, he is heavily favored to get the under there. And then again, the projection data does not like that as well, the under. So those are two prop bets there that, yes, percentage-wise, good bets on paper, but at the same time, I like to stick with bets in which the projection data is also telling us the exact same thing. So a little bit worried about those two. We could just go with one like this, where a little bit better, where at 29.5, the average sportsbook line for Marcus Stroman would be favoring the under pretty heavily, about 56%. So then at his line of 28.5, it's about 54%. But that one is one that I like a little bit more just because, again, the projection data likes the under there. So at least that correlates. But that's kind of where I'm saying the Sonny Gray prop bet that we are getting is definitely the best one that we are getting on the board today, especially for pitchers. Now we could go down a little bit lower, and there are some like kind of okay ones like Fidel here for his pitching strikeouts, 4.5 for the under. That's a good EV bet that we have today. And then just looking at some of these hitting fantasy score prop bets that correlate. And so I'm going to click yes. Bo is okay. Like, I'm kind of fine with that. Riley Green, another one. He's been popping up a decent amount recently. Don't mind that. Aaron Judge, that's kind of a clear edge, I would say, especially compared to underdogs. So decent one there. Reese Olson, not like the best for his over pitching fantasy score compared to how the sports books see that happening. Now, this is one where maybe we just get more data throughout the day and maybe that goes up or down, kind of got to see there, but that's a decent one that we have there as well. Do want to jump into underdog because we are getting one bet there that we are currently not getting anything for on prize picks just yet. And that's going to be one that I pair with Sonny Gray. And that's going to be Reed here for over his pitching fantasy score because, again, the data correlates pretty well with that. So I'm pretty happy to run that one out. And then just real quickly pulling up some NBA prop bets. If you guys want to use any of these, by all means, go for it. Just not that big of an edge there. We'll jump into a little bit of WNBA as well. Again, probably not getting that many great prop bets here. I haven't checked though. And yeah, still not that many. And we'll see WNBA wise, just really not that much now compared to some of the projections, maybe slight edges there, but not anything we need to go crazy with just in general. So very much an MLB type of day. Again, I think it's a little bit better on underdog, and I'll give you guys the underdog bet of the day. But real quickly, just looking at some discrepancies, not much there as well, just as an FYI. So yes, more of an MLB day. So let's go ahead and get into the underdog bet of the day. But just as always, just a reminder, if you guys have never signed up for underdog and want to, use the promo code 905. That's just the easy way to help out the channel. When you guys sign up, they'll give you 100% deposit match up to $100. So yes, underdog wise, I just like these two the best. On paper, they're pretty good. Reed, 54% to get us over. Gray, we see that the underdog line is kind of clearly the outlier when looking at the projection data, the average sportsbook line, and the prize picks line. So decent edge there for those two. And now get into prize picks. Don't love it as much, but still decent. All right, and so for today for prize picks, again, probably not doing too much today. Maybe if the board changes throughout the day, I might, but getting some good hitting fantasy score prop bets. Don't need to go crazy with them, though. Just taking the top 3 that I view, where the data correlates. And then Stroman, we saw not perfect. Looking at the average sportsbook line does have it at 29.5. That's really the difference of an out or not, or really the difference of probably getting a quality start. That's probably where the discrepancy is coming. And then Sonny Gray, again, just riding that one out still. Fingers crossed that one hits. We've been running pretty hot with the pitching fantasy score prop bets, especially the top ones. So, I mean, I won't be shocked if it doesn't hit. At the same time, those are the best bets that we have currently. That's going to be all for today's video. If you guys want access to the cheat sheet, head on over to 9to5sports.com. Available for just $10 a month. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck today. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Taco Tuesday. All right, thanks for watching. And as always, let's keep cashing.